What happens next in Israel, Part 18. The three great monotheistic religions that have grown from the Middle East have been already blamed for causing most of the strife and bloodshed in the world. Agents of Grand Masonry and other Roman puppets will intensify that image prior to the introduction of the beast. The forces of Armilus the Beast will take over the Temple, Jerusalem, and much of Israel except the areas mentioned below. They will have Jewish refugee camps in those times, foretold by Sadia in video 15. From that point on, those in Israel who flee from Armilus will not be hauling the fuel mentioned in the Ezekiel 38 invasion to burn in the wilderness for 3.5 years. See video number 12. We know from Daniel 11:41 that these shall escape out of his, Armilus the Beast's, hand, even Edom and Moab and the chief of the children of Ammon. This is the area where the big mountains are near modern Judea. It will be in the future Israeli-controlled Levant. Jews will not be crossing into land that they have not been in control of up to that time. Whereupon the king Armilus will conquer and sack the holy city, kill the inhabitants together with the man of the tribe of Joseph, and then begin a general campaign against the Jews, forcing them to flee into the desert, where they will suffer untold misery. Sadia mentions that they will flee into the desert. See video number 15. Islam tells its followers to flee when they see Dajjal, their version of Armilus, who they say will only be destroyed by the one who they regard as a prophet. That prophet said the following about the appearance of Dajjal or Armilus in the temple in Jerusalem when that prophet was in Jerusalem. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. If these events transpire this way, where are the mountains that the one Islam regards as a prophet spoke of? Are there not mountains in Jerusalem and Judea? This is the area that Moses looked down on from Mount Nebo in what is now modern-day Jordan. These maps show how much more mountainous it is on the eastern side of the Jordan River. It is interesting to note that the capital city of modern Jordan is called Amman and is the area of ancient Ammon. Notice how the east side of the Jordan River Valley is much higher than the west side. Here is another view of the way the Jordanian mountains tower over Judah. Ammon, Moab, and Edom have the big mountains. Israel wants the Levant, which is described in video number 6. The Levant will contain these areas with natural fortresses of massive mountains, caves, and canyons that are in the areas of Petra and Bozrah. And besides, in Genesis, the Lord declares that those areas belong to Israel anyway. This is the entrance to Petra. Photos of the entrance to Petra show why it is a defender's dream and an attacker's nightmare. Why is Armilus the Beast prevented from destroying every Jew who will take refuge in the area of Bozrah Petra? This is the area written of in Isaiah 63, 1-4. It is on the east side of the Jordan River Valley, through which runs the long Great Rift fault line. This is where the earth may massively open her mouth and swallow the flood of the satanic serpent. The Lord, who held back the armies of Pharaoh near the Red Sea, will hold back the armies of the beast from the areas of refuge in Ammon, Moab, and Edom. Petra is on the other side of the Great Rift Fault. Here we see the entrance leading to the narrow passage, which leads to the first view of Petra. Notice the yellow line that marks the Great Rift Fault that runs up the Jordan River Valley. The wilderness is her place, where she is nourished for a time, times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God. Written by a follower of one that Islam calls a prophet. Notice the fault lines, and where they lie right along the area that keeps the areas of Petra and Bozrah safe. Of the Goyim it is written, that the holy city, Jerusalem, shall they tread underfoot 42 months, 3.5 years, by a follower of one that Islam regards as a prophet. This is the same time that Israel hides in the wilderness refuge areas such as Petra. After passing through the long, winding, narrow entrance, there is a canyon-like area with many caves and man-made tombs honeycombed into solid rock. People have lived in them and will live in them in the future when Israel takes refuge for 3.5 years from the satanic beast Armilus. And you say, how? Well, people live in them now. Look at the photo here at the bottom of the slide. Why does Sands use the phrase members mark? I feel that the use of the word mark and beast is a process of conditioning people to hearing these words now, with the goal of making them more acceptable when the time comes for those who take the mark to punish those who do not. Jews who flee to Petra will avoid all this in ways that David, king of Israel, hid from his enemies. During the 3.5 years, God will pour out his judgments to punish the kingdom of Armilus the beast. This will start God's vengeance on those who do not want to respect Israel and make war against them. The empire of Armilus the beast will be weakened by these events, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in a snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The vast system of electronic devices used by Armilus the beast to control his subjects will be hit by megaquakes and giant hailstones. 3.5 years of Jacob's trouble will end. The followers of the beast will not be able to hide on the earth, under the earth, on the sea, under the sea, or in the air. His empire's super weapons will not be as effective as they were prior to the end of these 3.5 years. Armageddon is a Hebrew word. Although it does not occur in the Tanakh, its meaning is best taken to mean Mount Megiddo, since Har in Hebrew means mountain, and Mageddon is the place name of Megiddo. Notice how the modern-day town of Megiddo is shown in this modern map of northern Israel right here. What will many a Jew do? Find out in What Happens Next in Israel, Part 19. For more information and ways that you can help us to blow the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm, you may contact us, Hope of Israel, Hatikva Yisrael, by email, shlomo1335@gmail.com. Yisrael Kai. You may like us on Facebook and comment on Twitter and Tumblr.